And hello again, everybody. This is Michael Dempsey for HorseBettingWorld.com. It's Friday, July 22nd, opening day at Saratoga. We've got a 40-day meet that runs through Labor Day, racing 6 days a week. The only dark day is Tuesday. We have over 50 stake races over the next 6 weeks, including 17 Grade 1 races. It's really going to be a great meet at Saratoga, and I'll be here every day at HorseBettingWorld.com. My full card analysis will be available 6 days a week. We'll do these videos once a week with some of the highlights from Saratoga, as well as some of the stake races. We're going to talk about Friday's and Saturday's stake races today. Don't forget also, both on NBC and Versus over the next 8 weeks, each Saturday afternoon there'll be a 1-hour telecast called Summer at Saratoga. It starts this Saturday, July 23rd, with the Coaching Club American Oaks from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. Then it switches off to Versus. They'll be carrying races such as the Deanna, the Whitney, the Vanderbilt, the Sword Dancer. We'll be back on NBC for the Alabama and the Travers. Of course, Travers Day is August 27th, and it'll wrap up on September 3rd. Back on Versus, the Woodward at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. So every Saturday, national coverage of horse racing, which is always a great thing. Talking about a little bit about jockeys very quickly before we get into the races. As you remember, last year Ramon Dominguez was a little bit upset. He came in third in the jockey standings behind John Velasquez and Javier Castellano. I think those three are going to battle it out again for the jockey title. A couple other ones to look for. I think Julian Lepereau will probably have a pretty good meet. Alan Garcia might bounce back a little bit, and also look for David Cohen and Cornelio Velasquez. As far as the trainers go, Todd Pletcher had an outstanding meet last year. He did particularly well with 2-year-olds. I think he won 18 2-year-old races, so he's certainly going to be the one to watch. Of course, on the turf, particularly the turf sprint and some of the New York bred races, Linda Rice, who came in second last year in the trainer standings, of course, will be a major factor again as well. Some of the other trainers I'm going to be looking for, George Weaver, Seth Benzel, Richard Violette, maybe a little bit later in the meet. Some of those trainers should have good meets as well as some of the trainers shipping in from out of state, including the Churchill contingent. May look for Kenny McPeak and also David Fox as well. He may win a few races as well at prices. So the best jockeys, the best trainers, and the best horses will be at Saratoga over the next 40 days. A couple of good stake races on opening day. The first one's the James Marvin. It's an ungraded race that attracted 3 Grade 1 winners into the race. So that's the type of racing we're going to see at Saratoga over the next 6 weeks. I'm going to go with number 9, Quexa Electronica, who gets the call. It's a very tough race here. Our top pick checked in third last out in the Met Mile, perhaps bouncing off a couple of career tops. The 6-year-old was a good-looking winner, 2 back in the Westchester, a Grade 3 race at Belmont Park, going a mile. Pletcher claimed this guy for $62,000, 3 back off a career top, and moved him forward. He looks likely to bounce back here, a little bit better effort. I'm going to use him along with number 11, Jersey Town, who pulled off a shocker last out in the Cigar Mile, fighting back to win by a neck at 34-1, earned a career top in that hard-fought effort. He may be a bounce candidate here, but he seldom runs a bad one. He's landed in the exacta in 10 of his 12 career starts. He was a good second behind Brebon, 2 back in the Bold Ruler at 7 furlongs. And the cutback here should suit this guy. So I think Jersey Town 5-1 in the morning line still offers a little bit of value. I'm going to use those two on top of Gallego and Here Comes Ben in the James Marvin. Excuse me. Moving on to race 9, the Schuylerville. That's the traditional opening day feature. Goes off at 5:30 Eastern Time as race 9. I'm going to go with number 9, Georgie's Angel. Put in one of the best looking maiden races. Maiden wins among the 2-year-old division at Churchill Downs this spring. Sitting in the early fractions, she drew off to win by 6.5 lengths in a good looking effort for the Todd Pletcher barn. Filly earned the top last out speed figure. None of the fillies she beat that day have come back to run, which makes me a little bit nervous, but I think she's going to be, she's the real deal and should move forward off that race. She's 5-2 in the morning line. I'm also going to use number 2, 5-Star Mama, who's coming out of the debutante at Churchill Downs, where she tracked the early pace, took over the lead heading into the stretch, and couldn't hold off Flashy Lassie inside the final furlong, where she was nearly 6 lengths clear of the rest of the field. She's a little bit of a value, too. She's 8-1 in the morning line. So I'll be using Georgie's Angel and 5-Star Mama. I'm going to use those two over Gypsy Robin and True Feelings. I'm going to move along to Saturday. Saturday's feature race is the Coaching Club American Oaks, the first Grade 1 race of the Saratoga meeting. This race only drew 5 fillies. And typically when I see a 5-horse field, I want to skip forward to the next race. But this race is just just an amazing race. All 5 in this race have a legitimate shot to win. I'm going to go with number 2, Plum Pretty, who's shipping in from the West Coast for the Bob Baffert barn. Baffert's hits at a 29% clip at Saratoga dating back over 5 years, so usually ships in live runners. Plum Pretty is no exception. The filly headed for home for the lead, but couldn't hold off Zazu in the stretch, and the runner-up finished last out. 2 back, the filly lost her footing coming out of the gate, tracked the early pace, and drew clear to win by a neck. The runner-up in that race was St. John's River, came back to win the Delaware Oaks in her next start on July 9th. She has the pedigree to handle 9 furlongs as well. She's by Medaglia de Oro out of an AP Indy mare, so she's certainly got the pedigree to get 9 furlongs, so she's 3-1 in the morning line. My second choice is number 4, Royal Delta, who was a good-looking winner of the Black-Eyed Susan, Grade 2 last out at Pimlico, earned a career top speed figure in that effort. The victory was flattered when the runner-up Buster's Ready came back to win the Mother Goose in her next start on June 25th. Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott gave this gal a 2-month break. She should come back with a good effort. She's probably going to be the favorite. She's 2-1 in the morning line. So I'm going to use Plum Pretty and Royal Delta as my top picks. Third choice in the race is number 1, Buster's Ready. So good luck at Saratoga. Make sure you check us out at horsebettingworld.com. Also, don't forget to follow us both on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you next week.